For all the latest Pacific Rim Uprising news and updates, visit hybridnetworkyt.com. What's up guys, CJ here, and welcome back to another all-new Pacific Rim video, the first of the week, and today we're talking about a question very near and dear to my heart, something that's been on my mind for months now. Why didn't Guillermo del Toro direct the Pacific Rim sequel? And this is a very complex question with a lot of logistical and economic decisions behind it. There were, of course, additional things discussed behind closed doors in board meetings, things that we don't have access to and probably never will. Some of this came from an interview Del Toro did with Collider about a month ago that I've linked to down below in the description. It's a very frank and honest answer about why he left, but it doesn't tell the whole story. So while some of it came from that interview, the rest of this timeline is really just pieced together thanks to articles from the last few years, various comments here and there, all documented going back to 2013. But as for the real reason why Guillermo del Toro didn't direct Pacific Rim Uprising, it's actually pretty simple, and it's a pretty common occurrence in Hollywood. Scheduling conflicts. To clarify, it's a little more complicated than your usual scheduling conflict, but you'll see why in a second. Back in 2015 and on into 2016, when pre-production on the film was really ramping up, Guillermo had a couple of other projects on his plate. Not only was he juggling the Pacific Rim sequel, he was also attached to direct Justice League Dark for the young DCEU. He would go on to leave Justice League Dark in June of 2015, choosing to pursue Pacific Rim 2 instead, as at the time the two shoots would have overlapped. JLD was a film he'd been attached to for years, stretching back almost before the release of Man of Steel if I remember correctly, and it can't have been easy for him to let go. But he persisted on with Pacific Rim, a film and a universe he, Zach Penn, and Travis Beacham had essentially built from the ground up. Originally, filming was set to begin in November of that year. However, due to conflicts between Universal and Legendary, filming was delayed. Del Toro presented a script and budget again to Universal, and things were supposedly getting back on track. Then, things derailed, and for good this time. Legendary was sold to the Chinese conglomerate Wanda Group, delaying production from sometime early in 2016, presumably February, to later that year, when filming actually started in November. And for Del Toro, this situation had grown untenable. After passing up Justice League Dark for Pacific Rim 2, and then waiting on Pacific Rim 2, and really not making any films since Crimson Peak, which released in 2015 but filmed back in 2014, he had to do something. He could not wait any longer. And so Guillermo del Toro left Pacific Rim 2 to direct another film he had been working on for years, The Shape of Water, which is releasing in November of this year. He was eventually replaced on Pacific Rim Uprising by Daredevil Season 1 showrunner Steven DeKnight. Hopefully we learn more about Guillermo's vision for the sequel at a later time. We know it's definitely not going to be in Pacific Rim Uprising from comments he's made after the fact, and I know I'm personally very interested in what his ideas for the sequel were and what story he would have followed. I can only imagine it really probably would have adhered a little more closely to Raleigh Beckett and Mako's storyline rather than introducing new characters, but GDT directing may or may not have even kept Charlie Hunnam around, and we'll never know for sure. Let me know what you think of this video in the comment section down below. I hope I cleared this up for some of you. I just did my best to really kind of dive into his history and dive into comments he had made over the years, and I think I've come up with a pretty complete picture, or as complete a picture we're going to have until he decides to shed more light on it. That's going to do it for me here though. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to smash that like if you like what you saw, subscribe for more great content every single day, and consider turning on your notifications to be alerted every time we upload a new video. Signing off, this is CJ, and I'll see you next time.